Hi, I'm Summer Song, and I am an author at WitchDigest.com. This is my simplified version about working with energy. Because everyone has their own way of working with energy, it's best to keep in mind that there are many ways to work with it. This is just my own take on it. Quite often in witchcraft, many people talk about working with energy, but explanations are often vague. I wonder if it's because it is something that you can't see and is difficult for most people to define. From my perspective, it's like air. You can't really see it, so it's pretty much invisible, and it isn't concrete, so you can't grab it or pick it up. It is generally silent. You can't really hear it with your ears, and it doesn't have a distinctive smell, or does it? Energy like air can be felt with your senses if you know what it feels like. Some people are very sensitive to energy and some are not. To me, there are different types of energy and it can be distinctive. Electricity is a type of energy. If you have ever been shocked by it, then you know what it can feel like when you get a jolt. Too much and it can kill you. Electricity can be harnessed and directed. That is how we can use electricity. Energy surrounds us and energy is within us. Energy is in and surrounds everything in the universe. I'm speaking of the invisible kind that most people really aren't aware of is there. When we work with energy from within and that which surrounds us, we're harnessing and directing that energy. One of the basic principles of magic is manipulating that energy to obtain what we desire. Since the energy already exists and it is in us and around us for at least as long as we exist, and then some for everybody else, we've actually been using that energy all of our lives and probably didn't even know it. It can be very subtle and will go unnoticed when we aren't paying close attention. One example of subtle energy is seen when hugging someone. Have you ever noticed when you hug certain people, you both feel good afterward? That is one way that we use energy without realizing it. The next time you hug someone, I mean really hug them. Not the fake over-the-shoulder pat on the back and quickly let go hug that you would give a stranger while you keep your guard up. I'm talking about both arms around the other person, cheek-to-cheek squeeze for a few seconds or more. You know, like you would give your child, spouse, or other family member or a close friend. I believe we have a current or flow of energy that goes right through our centers from the top of our head to the bottom of our feet and even through our hands. These energy points are often referred to as chakras. I believe that when we hug or shake hands with someone, those currents sort of mesh together and an exchange happens. That flow connects and blends with the energy of the other person. I also believe that we each have our own individual energy pattern that is distinctive, and for that moment during a hug, that pattern is blended and balanced between both people. In that case, an energy exchange has been made. In my humble opinion, before you can become proficient in working with energy or controlling energy, it's important to consciously experience it. Before you can control it, I believe it is important to actually understand what you are trying to control, manipulate, send, or receive. When I first began my path in witchcraft, other than the basic information, such as like history, terminology, and etc., I was pointed in the direction of experiencing energy and learning how to manipulate it by consciously feeling it flow from the ground through my body and back through the ground. I was challenged to consciously create a current or a circle of energy and keep it moving for as long as possible. That is how I learned how to ground my own out-of-control energy. I believe it is important as a witch to know how to both send and receive positive energy when beginning to work with energy. Practicing this grounding exercise may help, or at least a modified version you may design yourself to fit your individual need. Ambiance is very important, or at least it was for me in the beginning. Here is what I did and still do. I wait until I'm done for the day and ready to relax for the night. That way, there won't be anything nagging at the back of my mind to do. I move to a quiet place where I won't be disturbed, such as my bedroom. I light a candle or two and my favorite incense to help calm my senses. I begin with getting comfortable and preparing to meditate. I start by listening to my breaths, in and out, slowly and deeply. As I breathe in, I take in the positive energy from around me. As I exhale, I release the negative energy that has accumulated throughout the day. As my breathing becomes rhythmic and relaxed, I listen to my heartbeat. I begin to visualize the flow of energy moving through my body. For me, it's a current of a pale blue light. Once I have this firmly in the vision of my mind, I stretch out my hands over the floor. My main hand is my giving hand or dominant hand, and the other is my receiving hand. I then begin to visualize that the pale blue light of energy was being drawn up from the floor to my receiving hand, and it flows through the palm of that hand, up through my arm, over my shoulders, through my body, down through my other arm to my giving hand. I then visualize the pale blue light of energy flowing from my giving hand back into the floor. I would repeat the cycle for as long as I could keep it flowing, which wasn't very long at first. I still practice this way with energy when I meditate, only it has become much easier for me. Second nature, I suppose. There is much to be said about experiencing energy. It is much easier to work with energy when it has become familiar to you. How do you experience and work with energy? Thanks for listening. For more cool stuff, check out our website at WitchDigest.com. You can find the link under the More tag below. Don't forget to subscribe and check out our other cool videos.